Peace and greetings, y'all. One moment. Just one moment, one moment, one moment. That's better. One moment, y'all. One moment, one moment. Y'all probably heard that. But peace and greetings, y'all. If I can just get this in there. Oh, it came out. There you go. Boom. Look at my little heart. Ah ha 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 ha. Peace and greetings, y'all. Peace to the world. Greetings to you. How are you doing this fine evening? Ed here, back with another video. But yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, even classmates. Welcome back. How are you? Just a quick video. Maybe we are already a minute 40 in, but just a quick video. Like I said, maybe. But just about this whole yeah, because I got confused on two words. So yeah, this whole little thing is just going to be about what? America versus MAGA or Nazism. Or this can be the United States versus the Americas. What do you mean the United States versus the Americas? Because the United States, okay, yeah, the United States and the Americas are two different things. The United States is literally the United States, not involving. The United States is literally Central America, not involving South America, not involving North America, which is Canada, just simply Central America, the United States. Now, the Americas is literally North, Central, and South America. Now, we can ask the United States, or we the people, the United States, are in the courthouse due to who? A president who's been speaking to the Americas. Yes. This is, I don't know, it just came to me in my head that as it was in the beginning, so should it be in the ending? Like, wow. Just literally, because why? The United States versus the Americas. This nigga George Washington went on a whole war. I mean, he didn't win many wars, but he went on a whole war rage to develop the United States. Now, ain't nothing wrong with developing your country, but we already see that what was once the United States is no longer that. We are either America dealing with the Americas, or we are the Americas dealing with America, or the Americas dealing with the United States. And I just think it's so odd to say the Americas, because what would Canada name themselves? Has anyone asked them? I haven't. What will South America, Mexico name themselves? Has anyone asked them? I haven't. But it would be the Americas. Why? Because the United States, America, is the supreme ruler. Not necessarily the United States or America, but MAGA is the supreme ruler in this vicinity of the world. Now, you can honestly, now in truth, You can honestly compare MAGA to the Americas, because the Americas is both North, Central, and South. There's people in South America that want to see America great. There's people in Central America that want to see America great. There's people in North America that want to see America great. But somehow, some way, you always have a small patch of rich people that want to use the poor to get their agenda across. And it's like, wow. We think every white man is rich. That is not the case. Then they can struggle with bills like anyone else. Why? Because you only mock what you know to be true. Not just necessarily to be true, but you mock, yes, what you know. Because why? You were once there. As one senator said, it's going to get hard. It will get hard. In fact, the messenger said, it will get hard. In fact, the messenger said, who will win? Because why? We are in Armageddon right now. What? Yes, one moment. We are in Armageddon. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, or Mr. Muhammad said, or Messenger Muhammad said, because based on the minister Shabazz, he said we don't put surnames, or I think that was the word. We don't put surnames behind, or we don't use titles, but we're gonna use that most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Why? Because why? No cap. It's that we all got him in our forehead, in our hands. Not yet, but we have him in our foreheads. Now, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, who will win the war of what? Armageddon. He said, okay. I was trying to draw something, but I said, no, don't draw. He said, who will win the war of Armageddon? Christianity or Islam? Who will win the war of Armageddon? Christianity or Islam? Who will win? So far, so much, the whole Americas agree with Christianity. What do you mean agree with Christianity? They don't necessarily... Christianities. They don't necessarily agree with Christianity, but they are seeing the flaw. Okay. Most of America is in disagreement with it. All of America is in disagreement with Islam. Why? They don't know much about it, but they are also seeing a one-side perspective of a story. Oh my gosh. Messenger says, best you never even knew of Islam. I say that for myself as well. Dang, a couple raindrops. Oh, hey, who is it that calls down the rain? I used to say this like 2-3 years ago, bro. Blessed be. Matter of fact, 4, 5 maybe. Wow. 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6 is coming up. Well, the 6 is already there, but the 7th is coming up. Amen. Yeah, so who will win the war of Armageddon? Christianity or Islam? Now, why Armageddon? Most of you think that Armageddon just started. Matter of fact, many of you believe that Armageddon just started. Why? Because we split the atom. No. You brought attention to yourself by splitting the atom. Armageddon happened 6,000 years ago, bro. It's when God and the devil made a deal. The deal is coming to an end in our lifetime. Not necessarily in our lifetime, but I believe in our century. Or maybe next century, or I'm not sure. But it is coming to an end in these next couple centuries. But it is coming to an end, though. That deal was pretty much, a deal was made between God and the devil. That was the war of Armageddon. Now, Satan has been ruling for 6,000 years since the start of that deal. Through the marker. Since the start of that deal. I could be speaking out of turn, but I do believe that somebody in the comments will correct me. Yeah. So I do believe that someone in the comments will correct me. Yet, however, like I said, Satan has been ruling for 6,000 years. This is a war of Armageddon between God and the devil. God and Satan. God, whose proper name is Allah, and Satan. Now, who is Allah? Allah is man. I say Allah is divine man, but Allah is he who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. What do you mean by that? The same way you understand how Jesus is the manifestation of God on earth, Master Farad Muhammad was the manifestation of God on earth, and this is the second millennium. So, matter of fact, he was the manifestation. Yes, he was the manifestation of God on earth in the second millennium. We, me and you, are currently in the third millennium. Yes, we are. Second millennium, go back 2,000 years. So here we go. This in here. I have a calendar in here. Not enough. Yeah, a calendar. Something just came to my head. I don't complain. My complaints are valid. I just added that last part, but what came to my head was, I don't complain. I think this is coming up. Nope, that's not it. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh, here we go. So, yes. So, what I'm showing you now is a calendar. This is the calendar. These are your millenniums, so your days, your centuries, months, decades. You know what a decade is, your year. So, if we are in the third millennium, which will be 2000 today, the last day was what? The 1900s, okay. So that was the second millennium. Prior to that was what? AD. So not necessarily, yeah, you can say millennium. Matter of fact, I'm a second millennium baby. That's crazy. But yes, go back 2000. So that would be, I'm at negative 2000. But that would be, what would that be? So like, first century? Somewhere between first, second, third century? Somewhere in there? Yeah, it will be somewhere between like first, second, third century before the beginning of the millennium. In a sense, not in a sense, but, and you can say that, before the beginning of the millennium. Because I believe that the calendars go up and they come back down in a sense like that. I believe they do. I could be wrong, but like I said, I believe that somebody in the comments will correct me. Oh, jeez. Okay. So yeah, go back 2,000 years, because wow, if we look at the 1900s, that was, the emergence of the Savior, who, Master Farad Muhammad, Allah in person. Now it's so crazy because they say, this is what scholars say. Matter of fact, dude said that they didn't. It was revealed in like 46 AD, I believe, in terms of Jesus. It was revealed in terms of Jesus in like 46 AD. But now get this. But they didn't get the full perspective of what he taught some years later. You don't see an issue with that? So I heard some even say a couple hundred years. A couple hundred is literally like 2 to 3 centuries. If you're being honest with the wordplay. a couple hundred years. What do you mean by that? Or a couple decades. I understand that, but they use that, but they said a couple of decades in terms of Prophet Muhammad. So with that being said, in those decades, maybe in those centuries, but I could be wrong about you, but at 46 AD, they didn't write anything about him till like what? Yeah, I think it said 80 years later, I believe. I think they didn't write anything about Prophet Muhammad until like what? Minister Shabazz said like 12 years later. 12 years later or 20 years later, I believe on that. I believe on that, but like I said, somebody in the comments will correct me. It's crazy. We're 16 minutes in right now. Well, I noticed 15:55, which is weird. But we are now 16 minutes in. I couldn't get my words out. But yes, if we go back, what I'm pretty much trying to say in terms of Jesus and Prophet Muhammad, the reason why I brought them up, what I'm trying to say in terms of them is like, do you understand what am I trying to say? I know what I'm trying to say, but do you understand that in that time frame that there are so many things that we just don't know due to the delay in actually writing about these people, these men? So there are so many things we don't know, aren't aware of. I just got an alert. Your words have bite as mercury. I just got a notification. Yeah, your words have bite as mercury. Wow. But yes. So yeah. Who will win? Christianity or Islam? That's so nasty to draw. Who will win? Christianity or Islam? Now, y'all seen the Messenger's depiction of this. He had I'm sorry, I messed it up again. It's hard drawing a moon, y'all. Like, does anyone else have that issue? Like trying to draw a moon? It's so weird, bro. There you go. Just draw a boomerang, yeah. Okay, so yeah, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, who will win? In his depiction of this, Christianity versus Islam, he said, who will win? Christianity or Islam? He had the Islamic flag, but he had the flag of Islam that the most honorable, that Allah in person brought. He had the Christianity flag being American flag. Now you're starting to see the issue that, yo, this American flag truly has been MAGA this whole entire time, bro. But literally, yes, that's how I'm seeing. This is literally what I'm seeing from my whole perspective, bro. A car just drove past, had to show them that I was doing something, you know. So I'm not just out here just talking to a car, talking to a camera, or just talking in my car for no reason. But yes. Now, allegedly, I heard prior that it was a Muslim that helped Hitler. I heard prior that it was a Muslim that helped Hitler. Now, it was a Muslim. I forget his name, but he was an imam, powerful one. But yeah, he pretty much spoke to Hitler about the whole Jew thing, and he pretty much could influence him. That's a conspiracy, I believe, and I say allegedly, because I'm still looking into that. But what I do know for a fact is that I think the same imam was the exact same one that had British ties to the British government in 1920, during the fall of the Ottomans, but also during the rise of Israel. I believe this was the same dude. I could be wrong, but someone correct me. I just don't know his name. I can look it up, but I don't have two phones. I wish I did. It's too. Don't worry about it, bro. We are now 11 minutes in. Was 2007. Now we are 19 minutes in. But yes, like I said, this is a battle of faith, I would say. Because what did I say faith was? It's some things. It's some things I learned in falsehood, and there's some things I learned in truthhood. I like to mix the two when it does make sense. What is 5? What is 5? What is 5? One moment, y'all. I'm just gonna get these two, and I'm gonna call it, okay? But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed my little talk, my little rant, whatever. But we pretty much wondering, what is it that you do per se, Ed? Well, I do many things in this current time. I believe I do. But it's just so many things, man. Not necessarily so many, but I just want to do. I just don't know where to start, I should say. I'm sorry, y'all. Save this for later. You ever just write stuff down? Here we go. You ever just write stuff down and you come back to it months? You come back to it days, weeks, months, even years later, and it still hits the same as it did when you first wrote it. It's so beautiful. But because you're still alive, faith is but love or survival. What did I say faith was? Faith is but love or survival. Faith without action, Ed. Like I said, I took some of this stuff from falsehood, because it really made sense. When you're trying to be something totally other than man. When you're trying to be something totally other than man, it's so beautiful. Faith without action is heresy. Faith is action, not faith is action, not admiration. I'm going to end it with that, you guys. Peace and blessings to you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful evening. It's currently, we'll say 8. It's currently 8 right now. Current time is 23:23, and I'm going to end it with that. Peace and blessings to you guys, and salam alaikum. Do feel better, you guys. This world is coming to a halt, and things are coming to a change. Well, not necessarily a halt, you're like skrrr, on the street type deal, but it will be a moment before things actually change. And with this being said, start something new, a new slate, man. You know, you can do it. We can do it. We all can do it. Hey, even I can do it. Peace and blessings, you guys.